As the weeks have turned into months, I sometimes find it hard to fathom I receive IV nutrition called TPN through a PICC line. My pancreas and issues with my GI tract are supposed to be medical challenges which can be solved with diet and eating small, frequent meals. Despite my best efforts, my pancreas does not like protein. If you cannot eat protein, your body cannot make essential enzymes and molecules needed to sustain life. I am very thankful and grateful my TPN provides protein as well as fat and calories to help me get from day to day. As much as I appreciate my TPN, I do have a disdain for it. TPN is very sticky and smells absolutely awful. When I set up my tubing, TPN sometimes leaks out from the waste bag as I prime my tubing. No matter how hard I try to clean up the small mess, it almost always creates a sticky residue on my floor and manages to travel all around my room. Moreover, even though my TPN is sealed in an IV bag, the TPN still smells up my room. I sleep with the door to my room closed at night. By morning, the air in my room hangs thick with the smell of TPN. As soon as I am awake, I immediately air out my room by opening my door. As I have learned to live with TPN, I have sometimes run into problems. As hard as I try to make everything work smoothly, my TPN can sometimes cause unexpected challenges. A few nights ago, I changed out my TPN bag. I went through my regular routine of infusing the bag with multivitamins. I then primed the tubing. I disconnected my old TPN bag and discarded it. I connected up my new TPN bag. I then climbed into bed, and soon I was fast asleep. A little after 4 a.m., I woke up, as I usually do. Running my TPN means there is a continuous infusion of IV fluids into my bloodstream. Even though I go to the bathroom right before I go to bed, I never make it through the night without waking up at least once to go to the bathroom. This day was no different. I woke up when my bladder was full. It took me a few minutes to wake up and gain my faculties. I then noticed my shirt seemed wet. I thought, this is odd. I am not hot. I'm not sweating. As I moved the blanket out of the way, I was horrified to see my pajama top was drenched in TPN. I screamed, "Oh no! How gross! I'm covered in sticky, smelly TPN! Ugh!" I moved my blanket out of the way so I could get out of bed. As I touched my blanket again, I noticed it was also soaked with TPN. I turned on my bedside light. I then saw my sheets were also wet. I groaned. The tubing connector, which attaches the TPN tubing to my PICC line, was bad. It did not create a complete seal. Most of the TPN was not going into my body. Instead, it was leaking all over my bed. I immediately stopped my TPN pump. I disconnected the TPN tubing from my PICC line. I flushed my PICC line and placed an alcohol cap on the end of the line. I took off my pajama top and placed it in the bathroom sink. I grabbed my blanket and set it in the shower. I took a bathroom towel and placed it on my bed over my wet bedding. I grabbed a clean t-shirt and pulled it over my head. When I looked in my closet, I was thankful I found a small blanket. I crawled back into bed and covered up using the small blanket. The stress of the TPN bath made it hard to fall asleep. Eventually, when the sun was rising, I finally drifted back to sleep. In the morning, my room and the bathroom had a lovely TPN smell. My bedding, blanket, and pajama top were washed. I was grateful for as big of a mess as the TPN made. No TPN found its way to my floor, and for that, I was extremely grateful and praising God. Since that incident, I try to connect up my TPN an hour before I fall asleep. This should give me enough time to allow me to notice if there are any defects with the TPN tubing, and hopefully I'll be able to intervene more quickly if there is an issue with my TPN before it turns into a sticky, smelly mess. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.